welcome back to my channel. As we review my book, Addicted to Being Broke, let's talk about eradicating a poverty mindset. Today we're reviewing chapter 5, Change in Action. So in this chapter, I basically was writing about the steps that I started taking now. So I've let go of my old and picked up some new habits, and the first one was writing a budget. When it comes to writing a budget, it's one of those things that's mentioned in all. If you watch any videos, read any books, anything to do with money, they always talk about a budget. And for ages, I just thought, no, I'm not doing it. There's no point, because I just knew my outgoings were more than my income. So it took me a while to actually start doing the budget. And I discussed the budget that I did in the previous chapter. That was the first steps I took and showed me clearly exactly where you're going wrong. Without that, you're just stuck in a continuous cycle of making the same mistakes over and over and over again. Unless you have a constant cash flow, you have a lot of money, and therefore you don't feel as though you need a budget because your cash flow is just flowing wherever it's coming from. But if you want to see where your money is going, find ways to be able to keep some of your money, the budget is the first place. And I used it and I write about it like a map. So basically, it's like if you're planning to go somewhere, you've got a route that you've planned, you know where you're starting from, you know where you're going to. And that's what the budget was there for, really, to see how much is coming in, see how much is going out, and exactly where it's going. And in that way, I could then use that to see where can I start to cut down on some things or take some expenses off that don't need to be there. And the benefit of having a budget is you just sort of know at the top of your head what kind of leeway you have to work with. So if someone came to me and say, hey girl, we're going on holiday, you need to pay this much each month. If you know your budget, you just be like, yeah, that is not going to happen straight away, rather than committing to something. And then when you start paying it, you start struggling because you could not afford it, but you just committed to it already. So with a budget, it really does help you to know exactly how much you have left over. In this chapter, I talk about your income. Is it enough? Is it enough? At the time, my income was not enough. So finding ways to make more money. If you're already trading your time for money, find other ways that don't involve trading your time for money to help you make more money. So I was working a 9 to 5, but also did hair on the side, which gave me money towards just food shopping and small things. It just helped to boost up some income, and that was very helpful. If you're currently employed at your workplace, find out if there's other roles which would pay you better. I spoke about my experience when I was at my workplace. I just thought I need to earn more money. I found a department that earns great money, and I found my way in there basically, and definitely earning more money than I was on the previous role. So just within where you're working, finding out if there's more money available. In this chapter, I talk about a number of income streams that you can use to make money. And the first one is obviously the earned income, which is your employment. Whether you're contracting or employed by a company, you're basically earning that money by working for that person or that company. Earned income is the money received for exchange of your time, like a job. And I've heard job stands for just over broke. So there's definitely truth in that. And what this says is basically it's a method that's not designed to make you rich. And I disagree with it slightly, only because it's basically what you do with your money. So there's some people who have been able to invest their money from their employment to the points where they've left their job now and their investments is working great for them and they don't need to work again. But that was done through the same job that somebody else will complain about, or just go and then get paid and pay bills and go out and do nothing productive with it. So it all comes back to the mindset. It's not about how much money you have, it's what you do with it. So that's when people talk about, you don't need to do a 9 to 5, you need to have your own business. Having your own business is a lot of work, and for some people it's not 9 to 5, it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. So looking at a job and employment, if you can use it for your benefit, that means being able to invest it in things that are going to give you a better financial future, then you're practically the winner in that. The second potential income stream is profit income. So this is when you make a profit out of something. This is when you manage to buy something, let's say for £10, and you're able to sell it on for 20, 30, 40 pounds, whatever, anything more than you bought it for, which gives you a profit. So profit income is how a lot of business operate. I wrote about in this chapter being able to buy small things from wholesalers and being able to resell those. Those also gave me some extra money. Obviously, it's being able to understand the tax implications. The third potential income stream is passive income. Passive income is basically when you invest money into something and then you just need to do it the one time, and then that thing will continue to give you money. So it could be examples like writing a book. You just write it once, and then once you sell it, you continue to sell it. And it could be a platform such as Amazon platform where they just do everything for you. It could be like a course that I've got online on Udemy, where I created a course once, but people just go on there, purchase a course at their own leisure, study at their own leisure. So there's so many different ways to earn passive income. And the aim is to get to a place where you've got a few pots of passive incomes coming in, which will then help you earn more money without having to spend all your time earning that money. In the book, I have a section where I write about basically just a quick exercise of closing your eyes and just trying to imagine the kind of life that you desire, the kind of life that you want to live when it comes to being financially stable or financially independent or financially free. So being able to imagine what type of life you would live would then hopefully give you that internal encouragement and motivation to say, you know what, I'm going to aim for this. I'm going to find a way to do this so I can live the life that I want to live. And the major question is, what do I have to do to make this happen? So this section is just me talking about how I chose to find different ways, different income streams to help me start to come out of my situation. And remember, even when I was doing the exercise, there's an exercise there for sort of envisioning the life you want, I was still in a place of struggle. So it's just always to remember that the situation you're in now, your current situation, should not stop you from dreaming about the life that you want. That is in your control. You can dream about the life that you want, find out the next steps to work towards it, and just go for it. That's it for chapter 5. It is a nice quick chapter. As always, if you have any comments, drop them below. And I will see you on my next video, which will be chapter 6.